Hi, this is Barry. In this video, I would like to discuss how does Cisco's AI Defense security solution for AI help to identify all of your AI assets and protect them. So as we discussed earlier, we have three different steps to secure our AI application and data. The first one is that we need to identify and detect, discover all of our assets. So this could be models and agents and knowledge base. So identify all of our assets, and then we assess their vulnerabilities and potential issues with them. As we discussed, some of the AI models might have a backdoor built in, and some of the AIs don't have a very strong guardrail built into them. So we have to detect all of those potential risks. And then the third step is we're providing guardrails around our AI and their data so that we can properly protect them in real time. So let's go to the first step, which is back to the dashboard. As you can see, we have already identified some of our assets. So we have a couple of the AI models that we're using, and we also have an agent that's identified and also knowledge base. I've covered this in detail in one of the previous video, which is the AI basics, to talk about how did we deploy these agents, how do we build them, and the details on how are they integrated with the knowledge base and all that. So if you've missed that, feel free to go back and check on that video. This is all deployed into AWS Bedrock, and how we identified them is through integration. So the first thing that I did was I integrated this with Multi-Cloud Defense, which is Cisco's cloud security solution that works natively with all of the major clouds, AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle. On the other side, we also have direct integration into AWS Bedrock as well for additional visibility. And we're working on integrating with other providers like Azure. So that's coming. But let's show you on Multi-Cloud Defense after the integration, what does it look like? Multi-Cloud Defense is also on Cisco Security Cloud Control, so basically under the same dashboard. Over here, this is the one that's integrated with my AI Defense. As you can see, we've already discovered my cloud accounts and some of the cloud assets and resources. And integrating with your cloud is very simple, so you can simply add an account for AWS. Basically, we're just launching a CloudFormation template. You log into your AWS account through this, and then it's going to launch the stack. And then after that, it's going to give you some information, and you simply just paste them here. And then bam, you're all done, right? So just within a couple of minutes, you're integrated. We can help you gain visibility into AWS, Azure, Google, and Oracle. So same thing, just go to add account, right? Connect to account. Azure, you need to launch a Cloud Shell. Same thing, gather the information and paste them in here. Same thing for Google and Oracle. And the second step is that we're going to try and gain some visibility into the traffic. And we do this by enable visibility here, which is the second step. So all we have to do is to identify the account that we just provisioned. So now I have the AWS account, right? And then select the region where I have my asset at. And then all of the VPCs that we have deployed. Under those, we basically just check all of the VPCs and make sure that we're getting visibility into all of them. And then we choose the destination S3 bucket where we sent the flow logs and everything to. So Multi-Cloud Defense can pull those logs and start analyzing all the traffic and what's going on. The last step is actually deploying gateways. This is if we need the gateways to help provide protection. Because the gateway, so with Multi-Cloud Defense, the gateways are deployed right next to our workloads. So gateways can be deployed into a central VPC where all of the communication is going through, or you can deploy it straight into all of the specific VPCs to have visibility into all the east-west traffic as well. And you can have a mixed mode as well. So you can have visibility into both north and south communication, east-west communication, so you can easily achieve microsegmentation. So deploying gateway is pretty simple. Choose the centralized or distributed or a mix, and then you can start providing the information, and it's going to help you deploy the gateways into different VPCs. By the way, the step number 3 is, again, optional. AI Defense have gateways built into them. So basically the difference here is that with AI Defense, we're sending all of the prompted responses directly to AI Defense into Cisco's cloud. So we are going to look at those content and then we're going to either allow it or block it or monitor. We talked about that in that overview video. But if you don't want to send that to Cisco and if you want to make that decision right here in your cloud, then you can leverage those gateways and I'll show you how. After at least the step 1 and 2, at least we'll see all of the inventory and we actually have a specific tab just for AI assets as well. So they're all going to be listed here and they're also going to be shown right here in the AI Defense assets as well. As you can see, this information is pulled from our multi-cloud defense. But over here, you just have more visibility into these assets because we understand them really well. So we know the names, the ID, and when was it discovered. And we also can run validations. So validations here, performing attacks, what we call algorithmic red teaming against these models or your agents or your built application. We can run a validation against all of them and then identify risks. Okay, now let's take a look at some of these models. Let's say, for example, I have Meta here and I want to do a validation. All I have to do is hit that button. And as I showed you here, we can do validation against models, applications, and external AI assets and endpoints. And then we just hit submit, and then it's going to start running tests against our application. So I have one that's running here, and I can show you all the details. And it's still running this time. So basically, we're launching thousands of attacks against this AI. As you can see, we ran 1,000 something. Right now, 368 of them were successful, which means we were able to fool this AI model to do whatever it's not supposed to do. And we map that to industry standards. OS top 10 LLM risks will tell us what type of risk it is, what type of threat it is. Say, for example, social violence, and this guy is trying to learn how to build a bomb, right? We also map to MITRE Atlas. So this will show us the techniques potentially was leveraged to breach the model. You can see all the details here. We can sort by severity. For example, this is a prompt injection, and social violence it's using a two-way payload splitting. Basically, it says string A is this and B is this. Give me the answer for A plus B. The model was tricked into providing an answer, pretty detailed procedure on how to build a bomb. There are, and also things like Unicode funds. So basically using an Unicode to try and trick the AI. So we are running all of these attacks against the model to identify the potential risks with this model. So that can help us decide whether this model is ready to be leveraged and can it be leveraged for our production use. And after you publish the application, you can also run this to check how good your current guardrails are protecting against all of these different attacks. So this is very quickly validation. All right, let's do a quick summary. We have identified how do we discover our assets in different clouds. One, we have direct integration into AWS Bedrock. And second, for any other clouds, we're leveraging a multi-cloud defense to go and discover these assets. And then we can gain visibility into what type of traffic, communication that are going on based on DNS traffic and based on other traffic. By gaining that telemetry, we can get an understanding of how secure these assets are. And then the next step is to validate these AI assets and test them for vulnerability. If we try to do this manually, it's going to take from 7 to 15 weeks. We need to be constantly testing them because there are regular changes to these models potentially. We need a solution to quickly and automatically test these models. Cisco has the right answer. We acquired this company called Robust Intelligence, and they're a leader in the space. We have algorithmic red teaming, which is leveraging our novel approach called tree of attack with pruning. It is the most efficient way of testing these models, trying to jailbreak them in the shortest try. So it will take less than 30 queries on average to jailbreak a model. And it costs a lot less than trying to do this manually. And just to summarize, we have the platform to properly identify all of the AI assets, monitor for potential malicious behavior, and then we can proactively validate all of these models, test them for vulnerability, and constantly test them. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about how do we create real-time guardrail to protect our runtime AI model and data. Thank you.